We have been on the road for decades. That is right, decades. We could not even measure how many miles we traveled, how many dreams we have made come true, how many priceless riches we have transported. People, goods, dreams, prosperity. But that was just the beginning. In a world that keeps changing, we are movements. When facing challenges, we overcome them. We reinvent ourselves. Amongst many, we stand out for excellence. With our customers, trust is our bedrock. Safety is a non-negotiable commitment. Work is happiness. And happy people take us further. Our finish line is the future, and the future is not a boundary. It is an opportunity to connect people to their dreams, to reach achievement and prosperity, because we are just beginning. Handong Companies, connecting people and riches to generate prosperity.
Connecting people and riches to generate prosperity. That's what drives us. And we do it in over 100 countries. We are present in a variety of areas, sometimes without anyone noticing, because what motivates us is to help Anna and Paul with their business and fleet renewal. We innovate so that Mark feels safe on the road by investing in semi-trailers and auto parts technology. We work hard to ensure that Martha can get everything she needs for her family at the supermarket. We work to make sure the essentials reach you. That's what drives us. With a commitment to innovating, improving, and evolving the mobility you already know and the one we are creating. Randon Companies, together innovating for a better future.
We have been on the road for decades. That is right, decades. We could not even measure how many miles we traveled, how many dreams we have made come true, how many priceless riches we have transported. People, goods, dreams, prosperity. But that was just the beginning. In a world that keeps changing, we are movements. When facing challenges, we overcome them. We reinvent ourselves. Amongst many, we stand out for excellence. With our customers, trust is our bedrock. Safety is a non-negotiable commitment. Work is happiness. And happy people take us further. Our finish line is the future, and the future is not a boundary. It is an opportunity to connect people to their dreams, to reach achievement and prosperity, because we are just beginning. Handong Companies, connecting people and riches to generate prosperity.
Connecting people and riches to generate prosperity. That's what drives us. And we do it in over 100 countries. We are present in a variety of areas, sometimes without anyone noticing, because what motivates us is to help Anna and Paul with their business and fleet renewal. We innovate so that Mark feels safe on the road by investing in semi-trailers and auto parts technology. We work hard to ensure that Martha can get everything she needs for her family at the supermarket. We work to make sure the essentials reach you. That's what drives us. With a commitment to innovating, improving, and evolving the mobility you already know and the one we are creating. Randon Companies, together innovating for a better future.
We have been on the road for decades. That is right, decades. We could not even measure how many miles we traveled, how many dreams we have made come true, how many priceless riches we have transported. People, goods, dreams, prosperity. But that was just the beginning. In a world that keeps changing, we are movement. When facing challenges, we overcome them. We reinvent ourselves. Amongst many, we stand out for excellence. With our customers, trust is our bedrock. Safety is a non-negotiable commitment. Work is happiness. And happy people take us further. Our finish line is the future. And the future is not a boundary. It is an opportunity to connect people to their dreams, to reach achievement and prosperity, because we are just beginning. Handong Companies, connecting people and riches to generate prosperity.
Connecting people and riches to generate prosperity. That's what drives us. And we do it in over 100 countries. We are present in a variety of areas, sometimes without anyone noticing, because what motivates us is to help Anna and Paul with their business and fleet renewal. We innovate so that Mark feels safe on the road by investing in semi-trailers and auto parts technology. We work hard to ensure that Martha can get everything she needs for her family at the supermarket. We work to make sure the essentials reach you. That's what drives us. With a commitment to innovating, improving, and evolving the mobility you already know and the one we are creating. Randon Companies, together innovating for a better future.
We have been on the road for decades. That is right, decades. We could not even measure how many miles we traveled, how many dreams we have made come true, how many priceless riches we have transported. People, goods, dreams, prosperity. But that was just the beginning. In a world that keeps changing, we are movement. When facing challenges, we overcome them. We reinvent ourselves. Amongst many, we stand out for excellence. With our customers, trust is our bedrock. Safety is a non-negotiable commitment. Work is happiness. And happy people take us further. Our finish line is the future. And the future is not a boundary. It is an opportunity to connect people to their dreams, to reach achievement and prosperity, because we are just beginning. Handong Companies, connecting people and riches to generate prosperity.
Connecting people and riches to generate prosperity. That's what drives us. And we do it in over 100 countries. We are present in a variety of areas, sometimes without anyone noticing, because what motivates us is to help Anna and Paul with their business and fleet renewal. We innovate so that Mark feels safe on the road by investing in semi-trailers and auto parts technology. We work hard to ensure that Martha can get everything she needs for her family at the supermarket. We work to make sure the essentials reach you. That's what drives us. With a commitment to innovating, improving, and evolving the mobility you already know and the one we are creating. Rand-On Companies, together innovating for a better future.
We have been on the road for decades. That is right, decades. We could not even measure how many miles we traveled, how many dreams we have made come true, how many priceless riches we have transported. People, goods, dreams, prosperity. But that was just the beginning. In a world that keeps changing, we are movement. When facing challenges, we overcome them. We reinvent ourselves. Amongst many, we stand out for excellence. With our customers, trust is our bedrock. Safety is a non-negotiable commitment. Work is happiness. And happy people take us further. Our finish line is the future. And the future is not a boundary. It is an opportunity to connect people to their dreams, to reach achievement and prosperity, because we are just beginning. Rand-On Companies, connecting people and riches to generate prosperity.
Connecting people and riches to generate prosperity. That's what drives us. And we do it in over 100 countries. We are present in a variety of areas, sometimes without anyone noticing, because what motivates us is to help Anna and Paul with their business and fleet renewal. We innovate so that Mark feels safe on the road by investing in semi-trailers and auto parts technology. We work hard to ensure that Martha can get everything she needs for her family at the supermarket. We work to make sure the essentials reach you. That's what drives us. With a commitment to innovating, improving, and evolving the mobility you already know and the one we are creating. Rand-On Companies, together innovating for a better future. Connecting people and riches to generate prosperity. That's what drives us. And we do it in over 100 countries. We are present in a variety of areas, sometimes without anyone noticing. Because what motivates us is to help Anna and Paul with their business and fleet renewal. We innovate so that Mark feels safe on the road by investing in semi-trailers and auto parts technology. We work hard to ensure that Martha can get everything she needs for her family at the supermarket. We work to make sure the essentials reach you. That's what drives us. With a commitment to innovating, improving, and evolving the mobility you already know and the one we are creating. Randon Companies, together innovating for a better future.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. In today's event, we will present the Ambition ESG of Randon Companies, which was defined to guide an even more sustainable performance, generating value for all its audiences. We're going to present the pillars which sustain the ambition, which is corporate, including all the companies controlled by Randon, including Fras-le, which is also a listed company and is part of all this. So, if you're watching us and is a shareholder of Fras-le, be aware that our ambition presented here is 100% integrated by Fras-le as well. We inform that by the end of the event, we'll have a session of questions and answers ESG, but you can already send your questions throughout the presentations. If you're watching us on the website, our ambition.esg.com.br, all you have to do is write your question in the box above the video. In case you're watching on YouTube, click on the link below the video to be directed to the site's event. We inform that this event is broadcast by the page, also in English and in Spanish, and the version in Portuguese will be available through the channels of Randon and Fras-le on YouTube. It's important to highlight the recording of this event follows all the protocols of prevention of COVID-19. And to start the presentations, let's call CEO and President of Randon Companies, Daniel Randon.
Boa tarde, Daniel. Seja
Good afternoon,
bem-vindo.
Daniel.
Você pode nos
Welcome.
contar
Could
qual
you
é a
tell us what
importância
is
da
the
pauta
importance
ESG
of
para
the
as
topic
empresas
of
Randon?
the issue
Boa tarde,
ESG for the Randon
Patrícia.
companies? Good afternoon,
Boa
Patricia.
tarde a todos
Good
e a
afternoon,
todas.
everyone.
Estou particularmente
I
muito
am
feliz por
very
estarmos
happy
reunidos aqui hoje
that we are
para
here
falar sobre
together
tema
to
tão
talk about
relevante
such a
que é a
relevant topic,
sustentabilidade.
which is sustainability.
Acredito que não existe
I
futuro sem
there is no
sustentabilidade.
future without
Sem pensar nas
sustainability,
próximas
without
gerações,
thinking about
em
the
qual
next
planeta estamos
generation, in
deixando
which
para nossos
planet,
filhos e
what
netos,
planet we are
no
leaving to
respeito às
our children,
pessoas e ao
grandchildren,
meio ambiente.
respecting children,
E nas
respecting
empresas
people and the
Randon,
environment.
a gente fala
And in
muito
Randon
sobre futuro.
companies, we talk a lot about
Valorizamos
future.
tudo que nos
We
trouxe até
value
aqui nessa
everything
jornada
that
de
brought
7
us
décadas de
here on
história.
this
E
7-decade
por
journey.
respeito a tudo isso,
And
nós trabalhamos
respecting all
muito
that,
por um
we
crescimento
work very
sustentável.
much for a sustainable growing.
E a nossa certeza é de que esse futuro
we're
é
sure that
colaborativo
this future
e
is
sustentável.
collaborative and sustainable.
A pandemia de
The
Covid-19
pandemic
nos
of
fez refletir em muitos
COVID-19 made us
aspectos,
reflect in many
seja no âmbito
aspects.
pessoal ou no âmbito
In a
profissional.
more personal way,
Talvez
in a more
a gente
professional
esteja
way.
vivendo um momento de
Maybe
maior
we're
consciência da
living
humanidade
the moment
de que
with the
todas as
most
soluções
consciousness of
precisam ser
mankind.
alcançadas
And all the
com um
solutions,
olhar
they need to be
sistêmico,
reached with a
integrado
systemic
e
look,
principalmente
integrated and
colaborativo.
collaborative, cooperative look.
Nessa foto que escolhi para abrir
In
esse
this picture I
bate-papo
chose to
com
open
vocês,
this chat
a
with
gente
you.
vê um registro feito
We
pela
can see
NASA
a
no momento
register
em que
done through
partículas
NASA
suspensas de areia do
right in the
deserto
moment where
do
some
Saara
particles, many
atravessam
particles
o
of
Oceano
sand of
Atlântico
Sahara,
em
they are
direção à
crossing the
floresta
Atlantic
amazônica.
Ocean towards the Amazon forest. The desert sand contains very nutritious substances which contributes to the life of forest, which is a very big regulator of the world's environment. Why am I bringing this? That's exactly because this is a picture, it's a reflect of how very different ecosystems are integrated, and its survival depends on such integration. The company sustainability is exactly this, to propose the business view for a cooperation and working together, expanding the look of the economic pillar to the social, environment, and governance pillars as well. At Randon Company, we always understand that our development has to be sustainable and with a positive impact on the communities where we perform. Our purpose is to connect people and richness, generating prosperity. And when we talk about prosperity, we are referring to the development of society, the people's well-being, and this responsibility with the planet that we all have. And this is why we're here. That's why we exist. In the last few years, we have been enhancing our initiatives towards ESG, aiming to face the global challenges and the business, always focusing on the contribution of a better world. From now on, we will present our ESG ambition with very specific aims, very specific goals, and most important is the awareness that we're going to seek for these goals, but always respecting our principles. Principles that we learned with our founders, our ethics that needs to be always present in our daily basis, and our purposes of connecting people and riches, generating prosperity. On this timeline, we have some of our initiatives targeted to environment, to social, and for governance. These are actions we have performed since the year 2000, and here you can see there are many initiatives that we're very proud of, but we know that we can and we will do a lot more. We're now giving a further step and organizing all this that already existed in our companies in terms of strategies and politics, but in a more clear way, because we believe transparency and communication with our stakeholders is essential for an ethical relation, looking at the future. Simultaneously to launching our ESG ambition, we have also taken part in the global pact proposed by UN, and Randon companies, they are together in one of the biggest. We have united with other governments in order to contribute with the main challenges of mankind. Since last year, we have conducted a very important research considering the challenges of the area, our programs, incentives, the stakeholder demands, in order to identify which should be the focus on our ambition ESG for the next years. We have created 5 pillars which will be presented throughout the meeting today. And these pillars reinforce the aim of our targets, our strategic objectives. They will talk about the structurance and the maintenance of a solid adding value to all the areas inside the company. The sustainable innovation, which gathers the innovation and collaboration actions, creating new solutions which are more sustainable. Prosperity for everybody, which can foresee actions to boost the value generation for our employees, for our suppliers, and also the community. and the commitment with the environment, which involves the pillars of advancing of eco-efficiency in our operation. Before moving on, I would like to remind you all that sustainability is not the destination, but is the way. And our journey didn't start now. We have been on it for over 70 years. The important is that we're clear where we want to go and that our posture is and will always be open to listen, to evolve, and sustainability is also not a choice, it's a responsibility. We have full awareness of how much our impact is and can be positive in the life of millions of people. We will always value the respect and care with people and the planet. And sustainability, or ESG, is the only way to reach such goals and put in practice our purposes and our principles. That's why this agenda goes through all areas of our business. Thank you once again for everybody following us, and it's back to you, Patricia. Thank you, Daniel. Let's get to know a little more of each pillar. Now, we invite for conducting the ethical conduct driving. We invite the CFO and IR. Now, the word is yours. Welcome. Thank you for participating in such an important event for Randon. I'll start by talking about one of the pillars that in reality is about the ethical conduct and responsible, in which we explore what we have done and which are our plans from now on regarding governance. And in reality, for us, we talk about this issue mainly related to all of our stakeholders and a constant evolution regarding our transparency policies with all the market. It's important to highlight our first subtopic when we talk about governance generating value. It's also important to talk about evolution and sustainability, so you, in the end of the day, you can have access to our sustainability report 2021. Which brings very important advances regarding the years past, the years before. Since 2009, we were used to bring some practices, but now, for the first time, we have gathered some metrics of the integrated report. So we invite you to evaluate this report because it brings very important information regarding all this evolution, and also important metrics where year after year we're going to try to look and give more visibility to topics related to ESG. Speaking now about our strategic conduct, it's always important to highlight that Randon companies, from the first moment they became listed, they became public, and that goes for Randon shares, also Fras-le, were listed on the level 1 of governance with all the requirements. Last year we created the governance secretary. We have also created the portal of governance exactly to provide more safety and make the process flow better from executive direction to the members of fiscal council and the administration council as well. And these are topics, as we always say, we follow strictly all the regulations imposed by the organs, and our aim is constant evolution. We want to walk forward in a more transparent way, more clear regarding everything we are doing. And it's also important to highlight our risk policy. And last year we went through a new stage, and it aims to give transparency and also to have a more close follow-up to the risks we are open to, and a way we can transfer or at least amortize a little in case they can happen. Another subtopic regards the ethical and responsible conduct, which is also constantly evolving. We have some important pillars here, which are basically a number of directions, guides, which talk about a number of issues, and they have all been published, and they are available to the market, both on Randon and Fras-le websites. They follow strictly our ethical channel, exactly to provide this comfort, this transparency to the people who can make any kind of claim. And we also have a training for all the publics, the internal publics. This platform is called For You, and it provides training, it provides tools, and this also brings transparency and comfort for our more than 12,000 employers. We're also signatories of the platform ethos, and that is exactly because we're a clean company regarding the treatment and very strict rules regarding anti-corruption. That's it for me, and Patricia, that's back to you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paulo. And undoubtedly, this event of presentation of ESG Ambitions, which is open to all the audiences, reinforces even more your final speech. And to continue the presentation of pillars, we're going to call the Vice President, the Vice Executive President and COO of Randon and CEO of Fras-le, Sérgio Carvalho.
Olá, Sérgio, boa tarde. A palavra é sua.
Sérgio, good afternoon. You may have the word.
Boa tarde a todos.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank your participation, your support. It's a big satisfaction to be here to talk about some of the pillars of our ESG ambition. And today, to start, I would like to talk about the environment. Our approach is quite comprehensive, quite detailed. We have a very dedicated structure. We verify. We have very aggressive targets which cover all the ecosystem. But we might be more focused in certain aspects, such as the maintenance or the combat to climate change, developing products which are more eco-friendly, also called circular economy, which is the best use of resources available. Our company performs in such a way for over 25 years, and our first controlled company, Fras-le, was the first to get ISO 14001 regarding the environment. So over 24, 25 years ago that happened. And after that certification, all the other companies, they came one after the other getting the certification. So we have been performing this way for many, many ways. Last year, we had 8.6 million reais invested in environment management. We had some reduction on the energy consumption in all the operations. We have reached 58.8% on the reuse of water to our operations, 65.4% recycling the waste generated in our operation. 1.5 ton of material have been recovered with the so-called reverse logistics. In Fras-le, we had around 900 tons of friction material that after the mechanics replace, instead of throwing away in the environment, we collect the raw material. For example, the brake discs, we collect this material inside Fras-le and we reprocess. As I said on the brake disc, we melt to make new discs. So in a way, we're feeding the circular economy, and 37% of raw material coming from recycling. Now, a program we would really to talk to you about is the Green Route program. It's a very wide program, very detailed, with very ambitious targets covering all the aspects of sustainability associated to the environment. Our aim, our idea was to launch this program a year ago in the second quarter of 2020, but given all the situation of pandemic, we decided to prioritize combating the pandemic and postpone it. So now we're announcing this program. We have basically here three categories of ambition. One is reduction, the other is the increase, and one area that is the zero challenge. So you understand a little better. The first one, the reduction. Our goal is to reduce from 40 by 2030, 40% the greenhouse effects. We want to reduce the energy consumption and also the water consumption. We want to increase the reverse logistics, products and processes eco-friendly, circular economy, conversion rates improving, and we also want to work a lot which are more friendly to the environment. We want to use more alternative energy sources. And in the middle of the slide, we have the zero challenge. We want to bring to zero the effluent production. And also by 2025, the waste in industrial landfills, we want to become to zero by 2025, and in the greenhouse gases by 45% until 2030. A little more detailed, we have this commitment reducing 40% of the emissions of gases, greenhouse gases until 2030. In 2020, we were able to reduce 47,000 tons of CO2, measured according international criteria. If you look on your right side on the graphic, you can see the ring that saying that there are many categories, like the stationary combustion showing 48%, the electric power 35%, the mobile combustion
Apenas nessas três categorias nós temos aí praticamente 90% das nossas emissões.
We have on these three categories over 90% of our emissions, and we are categorizing them as in 1 and 2. The stationary combustion, we are referring to gases such as presses, ovens. Although in Brazil it can be through the plant powers, it's very used, but it's not considered as clean. Considering wind energy or solar energy is not considered as clean. There is some CO2 production in some dams, and for that reason is not considered as clean. And the mobile combustion has to do with the movements we have, the forklifts, gas fueled by gas, and other things. And our main goal here is to reduce by 40%, but in how? We want to reduce significantly the usage of energy, and for that we're using more solar energy, eolic energy, but I would say more solar, reducing more the natural gas consumption through very specific projects, and also the replacement of machinery that generates this negative contribution inside our operations. The second element is our zero challenge regarding the landfills, the disposition of landfills, the wasting landfills. Today, 77% of our waste, they have a sustainable destination, but we still have to find a solution for the 23% left, which are more focused on using cast sand. And we have a very important product to reuse this cast sand as a raw material to produce new materials. So the idea is to bring this number to zero by 2025. And the third element important here is the effluents. Just to understand, we already treat our effluents, but we only reuse 59%. And we want to increase this number by 100%. And we're going to do that using a reverse osmosis process. And then we will have projects first in Rondon, then in Fras-le, then in etc., depending the place. The idea here is also to bring this number to zero by 2025. Bringing to the next pillar, excellence and safety as a value. We already have a very robust approach regarding people, regarding the integrity. And this value for us, there is no negotiation on this value. The priority here is very high regarding any other objectives we have in the company. And when we talk about safety, we're talking in a very wide way. We're talking about the employee safety, data, product, and our goal is to keep on being this reference in all these areas, to keep on being a reference. And speaking more specifically about the products, we have very robust processes. We have certifications of all norms, strict controls in our chain. We have monitoring and continuous improvement. We produce products which are free of restricted substances. We have a number of things on our performance which is very high, and our goal is to maintain this goal and to increase the bar. We already have a place of reference, but let's elevate this bar to keep on improving more. Second part is related to safety, health and work safety. Our policy is very clear. We have excellent centers. We have all the certifications. We have launched a program called Attitude Can Change a Life, engaging all the employees. We have our own health plan, self-management. Just to call your attention to 2019, our rate of serious wounds, of serious accidents related to work, it was 0.306. And 2020, you can see the reduction, 0.058%. And that happens, this big reduction happened because we did a big mapping using an international methodology evaluating the critical risks of our company. And just to give you a dimension of it, we have invested over 50 million reais in the last few years. Just this year, we're around 29 million reais being invested only in safety. So our public commitment here is to bring to zero the number of serious accidents, labor accidents. And finally, information security and data privacy. Cybersecurity is among the most treated and prioritized risks by the company. We have invested a lot of financial resources to protect us more and more, to work our safety culture, but also general data protecting laws. We have studied a lot all this new legislation. In the year of 2020, we have created privacy governance for data. We created a committee with all the directors participating from all the business. We have created a policy, privacy and personal data to protect this data, to protect our clients as well. Criteria for monitoring, continuous monitoring, in a way that we can have very important investments as well to bring to our data safety, data security. And so we can talk a little about our new pillar. I would like to talk, to call Daniel Eli, who is the CTO of Randon Companies, and together with me, we will talk about a new pillar. And while Daniel joins Sergio for the presentation, we would like to invite you to send your question for the question and answer sessions. To participate, just use the box below the video, and if you're watching the video on YouTube, please click on the link to access the event's website. Now, back to Sergio and Daniel. Good afternoon, Sergio. Big pleasure to be here today sharing about the pillars, about the strategic ambitions. And now we have a challenge to tell you in a few minutes to talk about the sustainable innovation. Since 1949, we're moved by innovation. But one of the things we have seen is that we need to speed more, because it will bring the business sustainability and the impact generated by the business. And this innovation can be both in products and in process, in services. So we're going to talk a little about that. And in the end of the day, what we want is what's on the screen. We're making a public commitment to enhance even more the profit of the group from products, processes, services. This circle here is showing you that Randon is not only looking at evolution, innovation, the normal evolution. It is also looking at new technologies, what we call a more more transformational, disruptive innovation. And at the center of the circle, we have a number of initiatives inside the group which are looking from both sides, from products, processes, services, and this is what we're going to tell you. Before Sergio starts to talk about it, I want to say that this is all it's all surrounded by cultural transformation, which is the light blue circle. If we are here today trying to increase our profit, it's because this journey comes from years ago, a transformation of culture, which makes us today as a more agile company in order to incorporate these opportunities. So looking at the next slide, this disruptive innovation brings many new things for the group. For over a year now, we have created the Randon Ventures, and we work very connected today with other companies and other startups in a very communicative way. We have over 50 startups connected to the group. And today we have, Sergio will talk about some projects which already happen with the startup partnerships, and some are even invested by Randon Ventures. Another important pillar in the last years bringing new possibilities to us are the digital business. Besides having important partners to help us boost this movement, we're also bringing this competence also inside. Today we have artificial intelligence competence, data run, blockchain, the automation of processes in the administration or operational, and this all brings a more competition and productivity advantage. And speaking about financial services, since we already have the bank and the consortium, now we can also see a bigger business that we're now calling Randon Service Platform, that we're making available some financial services, transactional, logistic, for all the segments we work, which are transports and logistics. These are some news that are coming, but it shows that the company is looking at the future. Something we never stopped caring was the innovation in products, process, and technology. And now you can talk about this, Sergio. First of all, it's good to see our company that is such a traditional company like us investing so much in innovation and technology in the area of services, like you show with Randon Venture, and the work with startups is something that is really wonderful. And as Daniel said, we're still investing a lot in the most conventional areas, which also create a lot of disruptive innovation and evolutive innovations. The products, as you can see in the first pillar, which are led by the Technological Randon Center and Hercílio Randon Institute, we develop more advanced products, more innovative products, which are very important for our future. But we started this initiative in 2017. We have created this group focused on that. And we were so happy with the results that last year we decided to create Randon Tech Solution Industries to do the same thing we were doing in products, to do now in our industrial products, in manufacturing. So the main goal of this group is to invest in technologies, in specific technologies, so we can maintain our competitive advantage in handling, intelligent manufacturing, which is our version of 4.0 manufacturing. But in this moment, mainly in automation. As you might remember, in other moments, we mentioned that in 2020, we invested very heavy in robots, so we could accelerate, speed our transformation, our industrial transformation. But beyond that more advanced area of products and transformation, all the units have their innovation areas of research and development. We have over 90 million of investments in this area, over very important, 40 products, very important. 80% of our profit comes from products developed in the last years. More than 45% of the products from Fras-le were developed in the last years. And this is what Daniel mentioned. We want to boost this market more and more. When we look to the future, these mega trends, what are we doing regarding that? Just so you understand the graph, the circles, the white circles, they represent the amount of initiatives we had in 2020, and the blue represents the same number of initiatives, but for 2021. So we have three categories. The first of mobility and electrification. Maybe here the best example would be the development of our electric trailer, which we will be talking further in, which was very important. We had some projects on electronics, on boarding. Now we have were 3 projects versus 5 this year. Maybe the best example could be the creation of our own ABS brake system. And in smart materials, last year we had 9 projects, this year we have 10. And these smart materials has everything to do with environment. They are alternative materials which are much lighter than the equivalents in metal. They have a whole new technology specific to go with them. But every kilo, all the projects, they have a big weight reduction in their final vehicles. And with that also a reduction of the fuel. And that generates a lot of carbon credits, which you should be listening more in the future. Carbon credits. Smart materials has a lot to do with that. So in 2020, we had 16 projects in 2020, 21 in 2021. And to finish, we spoke about our electric trailer. And maybe this is our most iconic project on this matter, because all the technology, all the national technology, the intellectual technology developed in the south of Brazil, we created an electric system in which, in a combination of mechanical horse and trailer, you have a sort of traction on the way up that removes a bit of the load of the horse, and which reduces the fuel consumption. And going down using the brake, instead of the brake's energy becoming too heat for the environment, it will automatically recharge the batteries, such as an F1 car or even a full electric car. All the system has been developed by us. It reduces the fuel consumption from there's a big reduction from 10 to 15%, and all this reduction will be very positive for the environment. We will generate a lot less greenhouse gases, and this whole performance for the economy for the final clients, the improvement for environment, we enhanced the safety. We have also improved the return to our clients. Thank you, Sergio. I think the ICs couldn't be a better project to bring the next topic, which is to be an open innovation platform and to connect startups and new companies. There are 9 companies and 5 startups involved in the ICs project. If we haven't advanced, here I want to show you how we make this innovation. We have the Hercílio Randon Institute. This is a technology institute focused more on products and connecting with international research centers, national as well. Also, we have Connects, in which we place challenges for all, some of our challenges, so maybe other entrepreneurships or other startups can connect. And a very big step we have taken in the last 2 or 3 years, and it's helping to help this, is the LSE Institute. Today we have here in our region companies working together to work on common products. And many of these products are these problems are being solved with solutions a startup place in the market. So when we talk about cooperative innovation, is an open platform which allows us not to try to solve our problems in our four walls, but connecting to all the people who want to advance with us. I believe the sustainable innovation stops here, and I move with the next pillar. Thank you, Sergio.
Bom, pessoal, vamos então para o próximo pilar, que é o nosso prosperidade.
Now, speaking about the next pillar, which is prosperity for everyone, this new pillar, it symbolizes very well some of the things we have never stopped worrying. One of our values, which is to value and respect people, and to connect people and riches, generating value. So there is no point for us to create innovation, to have new profits, but this has to generate an impact in all the community, in all the regions we are involved. We have said a lot about it, but I'm going to share some situations here with you. A very robust politics of human resources in which we try to develop our people, we try to develop the skills on our people, the future, but also in all of our supply chain, our partners as well. We have been working since very early age with the program For You, which is 100% online, and they have development opportunities, but we have never forgotten the young talents. This has always been in our DNA, to focus on the education. Our program Florescer, which is Bloom, the young apprentice, after to qualify, and all this process of acceleration and sustainability, it goes a lot on the development of our leaderships. Today, we're very engaged, and today we're just speakers here, but this is a commitment from all the company, from all the people involved. Mainly our leadership. But also we have started on a very important topic, which is diversity. We're still doing our homework here. It can be very challenging in many of the regions we are because of the cultures we have, but we're facing in a very we're very sure that we're going to have some commitments regarding diversity. And on this issue of diversity and inclusion, one of the starting points, one of the public commitments we want to start is a bigger share of women in management positions. Today, as a starting point, we have 11%. Only 11% of our leadership is formed by women. We could talk about a number of reasons, but what matters is that we need to move forward, and we want to, by 2025, we want to double this number of people, or even more, this percentage. We are an industry, we are a heavy industry, we are in a segment, we still need to adopt new processes to feed this development regarding women management, but we will also work with other ideas which are inside our diversity program happening in the company around a year now. We're not disclosing so much because we understand this first step is our inner education process as leaders. But once that happens, those first steps, that we can see the first results, then we can share more with you everything that has been done. But
pela liderança feminina, passa a ser compromisso
But this is a
público
commitment
nosso
now. It's a
até
public
2025.
commitment from now on until
Bom,
2025.
na parte de educação, jovens, né, eu falei
Education-wise,
rapidamente, nós já investimos mais de
we have
7,7
invested
milhões em
over
programas
7.7
voltados
million reais in
a esse
programs
desenvolvimento
targeted
social
to
e
the
da
social
comunidade
development
dos
of
setores onde nós
communities
atuamos.
in
A
the
gente
regions
brincar que vai
where we
do
perform.
6 ao 60, né, ou
We
mais,
joke
até
that
a
we
gente
go
começa
from
lá no
6
programa
to
Florescer,
60 in
onde é
terms
programa
of
que já
age.
tem
We
5
start with
anos, há mais de
Florescer,
década
which is the
dentro
first
do
picture,
Randon, para
which is
ajudar
over a
crianças
decade inside Randon groups,
essa
and
vulnerabilidade,
which
trazendo
are
educação e dom para todos.
bringing
E
education
essas
to
crianças que hoje
kids
são
in social
360,
vulnerability. Today we have 360 kids in the program, 78 teenagers who have been benefited, and once they finish that, they can go to our professional qualification. So usually between 15, 16 years old, there is a lack of qualification in Brazil, and then we bring them to inside the company and provide qualifications. And after 16, they will have a proper qualification to after be hired by Randon companies. And we stimulate the volunteers with that. And our process always focus on kids, focus on traffic. We are widening our options, our range of options to benefit the community where we are. And to finish, but not last but not least, we have over 4,763 suppliers to Randon groups, and 94% of the suppliers are Brazilians. And we understand our responsibility to develop all the chain, giving support to ESG in other targets as well, to all of the chain. So today we already have very robust projects from selecting, developing our suppliers. We have a portal which we feed with a lot of information and knowledge as well. But annually we have a supplier summit. And from now on the awards we have created the sustainability category to highlight these suppliers as well. Sorry to go through so fast, but it's a way of showing that for you to have such a range variety here, range of options. It didn't happen now. We have been doing this for a very long time, and now what we want to do is to provide more and more conditions to move forward. Thank you very much, and it's back to you, Patricia. Thank you, Daniel. Now that you already know the 5 pillars of acting, ESG acting, now we will call Daniel Randon, the CEO, to talk about our ESG ambition. Daniel. Thank you, Patricia. First, I would like to thank the board council Davi Randon and all the other members of the board who support us, the board committee, the executive board, Paulo, Sérgio, and all the managers, the leaderships from Randon Group who worked so we could make this project feasible, putting some targets, some ambitions which are very challenging for all of us. And we have many aims on the ESG agenda, and today we make public 5 of our commitments for a better future. So to reduce by 40% the emission of greenhouse effects by 2030, which is a very totally committed with the NU agenda. Then to become zero the disposition of wastes in industrial landfills and the effluents by 2025. To make our net profit consolidated annually generated by new products, to become zero the number of zero of serious accidents.
Acreditamos que é por meio da inovação
We believe that through innovation we can guarantee the sustainability of company and we can make a better world for next generations. And the end, to duplicate, to double the number of women in positions of leadership by 2025. Because we know that the more diverse is our way of being and acting, bigger are the opportunities to develop and generate a positive impact for society. Today, we live a very important milestone for Randon Group. Today, we believe this is a very memorable day for our company because we know sustainability is how we live our daily routines, is the excellence of the products, the health, the safety of the people, the care with the communities, the innovation for technologies, for cleaner technologies. It's how we continuously choose to be a company very attentive to a better world, to a more sustainable future. This is what moves us. Thank you all. Now back to Patrícia.
Isso mesmo, Daniel. Isso é o que nos move.
This is what moves us. Thank you very
Reforço
much.
que nós temos
I
mais alguns
reinforce
minutos
we
para
have a
você
few
enviar
more
sua
minutes
pergunta
so you
por
can
meio do site
send
do
your
evento.
question through
E
the
agora,
site's
convidamos
event.
os diretores de
And now
Relações
we would
com
like to invite the
Investidores da
Relation
Fras-le,
with Investors
Esteban
Directors,
Angeletti e Emerson de
Randon
Souza,
Fras-le,
para
Esteban
compartilharem
Angeletti and
conosco
Emerson de
os
Souza,
relatórios
to
de
share with us
sustentabilidade
the
das empresas
sustainability
Randon e
reports
Fras-le,
from
que foram
Randon and
divulgados ao
Fras-le,
mercado na manhã
which were
de hoje.
disclosed
É com
to the
vocês.
market in the morning, in today's morning.
Boa tarde, Patrícia. Obrigado.
Boa tarde, Esteban. Boa tarde, Emerson.
Good
Agora
afternoon,
sim, eu passo a
Emerson.
palavra
Good
a
afternoon,
vocês. Boa tarde.
Esteban.
Boa tarde, Patrícia. Obrigado.
Thank
Boa tarde a
you.
todos que estão nos acompanhando. Obrigado
Good
por
afternoon,
acompanhar esse
all
evento.
of you
Para nós é muito
following
bom poder
this
compartilhar
event.
informações
For us, it's so
sobre esse
good to
tema
be
que tem
able
sido
to
tão
share
relevante para
such a
investidores,
relevant
mercado
topic for
capital.
investors and
Hoje, a
capital
gente
market.
apresentou os nossos compromissos,
Today, we have
as
presented
estratégias
our
que vão levar a alcançar
commitments,
esses compromissos.
our
Mas é
strategies
importante
to
lembrar
reach these
que a gente nunca
commitments.
vai deixar de lado a
But it's important to
rentabilidade.
remember we will
Fato é que
never
acredito
abandon the
que
profitability
rentabilidade e
because
sustentabilidade
we believe
devem
that
andar
profitability and
juntos em equilíbrio.
sustainability they must walk hand in hand.
É que
Another point I like to highlight is that
pode ser
sustainability can be a
mas
very
longe de ser algo
current topic,
É
but
mesmo,
it's far from being new
Isso mesmo,
to
Esteban.
Randon, right,
Boa tarde a
Emerson?
todos.
Good
Obrigado
afternoon,
pela
everyone.
audiência,
Thank
por
you
se
for
juntar a
being
nós
with
nesse
us.
evento tão importante. Já fazem quase 2 décadas
It's
que
been
nós
almost 2
relatamos e
decades
reportamos
we
o
have
das iniciativas
reported
nessas
to the
áreas
market
pelas
these
empresas Randon.
initiatives
E,
in these
isoladamente, a
areas.
Fras-le, nos últimos 10 anos,
Fras-le,
pelo
most
menos,
specifically in
nós
the
também
last 10
fazemos
years, we
essa
also
segregação,
make this
porque a Fras-le também é uma
segregation
empresa
because
listada,
Fras-le is
tem
also
uma
a listed
realidade,
company.
tem
It has
stakeholders
stakeholders
das
which are a
empresas
bit
Randon,
different from
embora
Randon,
haja, sim,
although
alguma convergência.
there is some
Nós-
convergence
eu fico
in the
muito
middle.
feliz de
And I'm
poder
very
estar aqui
happy
hoje e
to
ver
be
toda a
here today and see all the
evolução que nós podemos
evolution
relatar
that
e
we
ver ao longo
can
dessas
report
décadas.
throughout these
E eu queria
decades.
convidar vocês
I would like to
agora,
invite you now
para assistir resumo
to
do que
watch
nós
a little
disponibilizamos nos
summary
relatórios de
of what we
sustentabilidade,
made
tanto da
available on the
Randon
reports
quanto da
today,
Fras-le,
both in Randon and
que estão
Fras-le,
disponíveis
which
nos nossos
are
sites
which are
disponíveis,
available on
para que
our
vocês assistam, possam ver
investor
depois na
relationships
íntegra e
websites.
ler na
So
íntegra
you
esses
can
reportes.
further
Mas agora a gente
in
quer dar um resuminho
late
disso.
read
Vou
them
chamar o vídeo para que
thoroughly.
vocês conheçam. Muito obrigado.
So now I would like to call a video so you get to know them. We're now going to start our session of questions and answers, which will be answered by our executive team of Randon, Daniel Randon, Sérgio Carvalho, Paulo Prigolato e Daniel Eli. If your question was not answered live because of time limits, don't worry. After event, all the questions will be answered by Randon or Fras-le teams. Let's go with the first question, which will be targeted to Sérgio Carvalho. How do you intend to become agents in the process of reduction of pollutant emission in the industry of heavy vehicle?
Ok, Lucas, obrigado pela pergunta. Eu espero que esteja me ouvindo relativamente bem. Lucas, nós acreditamos sim que você está se referindo a produtos, né?
We believe you are referring to products and not to our industrial mean. And as we mentioned before, that through our system, ECs, our electrical trailer, so to speak, maybe this is the best example, the best answer to your question. We created a system that when we use a semi-trailer, it reduces a lot the consumption of fuel, and in that way contributing a lot to the reduction of greenhouse gases. And that also brings a number of benefits to the users of such systems. And these technologies we developed, they are so important that two truck manufacturers in a global scope, they are working with us. They have requested our development using technology developed by us. So we're committed, very committed, to make the difference in this segment of heavy commercial vehicles with very friendly, eco-friendly technologies. Thank you very much. Now, Daniel, the question is for you. We have a question. The sustainability strategy of Randon is associated to initiatives of the area. Which areas add value to Randon?
Muito obrigado, Catarina, pela pergunta e por participar do evento.
Thank you, Caterine. Since last year, we have done this work of identifying, together with our stakeholders, which could be the main demands to search for ESG challenges. And one of the main points to highlight is innovation, sustainable innovation. Two main points of this sustainable innovation, looking at the digital transformation, the company has worked with big challenges and opportunities, mainly looking the ecosystems. The Alice Institute, like Daniel Eli presented, the Transform RS, which are ecosystems we believe which are important to develop our company in a more sustainable growth. Another pillar about the electrical axis and the Randon Technology Center, they have brought a lot of opportunities looking at materials, which we call smart materials, besides innovation and reduction of greenhouse gases, but more lighter materials with less impact. They have been very positive. Another important pillar on the social area is that the Randon companies, they have worked a lot on this education view, not just young people, but also the transit in the traffic education, because we know the impact we have in the automotive area, commercial vehicles in Brazil, in other countries as well.
Obrigada, Daniel. A próxima
Thank you,
pergunta é,
Daniel.
qual o balanço de
Next question.
investimentos para atingir
What
o
is the
resultado em
investment
todos os
balance
desafios
to find to have results in all the challenges mentioned
Essa pergunta
versus the
é do José
benefit
Alves
of the
Bento.
results to be
Paulo, você
reached?
pode nos ajudar respondendo essa pergunta?
Paulo.
José Alves, muito obrigado aí pela sua pergunta e pela
Thank you
sua
for your
participação.
question.
Nós entendemos que essas metas de
We
fato, são
understand these
bastante desafiadoras.
targets, these goals, they are quite
Porém,
challenging.
dois aspectos importantes
But
para
two
serem
important
destacados.
aspects to be
Primeiro
highlighted
deles
here.
é que
First
nós
is that we have incorporated
essa nossa missão
this
ESG como parte integrante do
ESG
nosso
ambition
planejamento
as an integrant part
Então,
of
isso vai
our
fazer
strategic
parte do
planning.
nosso dia a
So
dia,
it will be on
nossos
our
ritos
daily
e
routine,
monitoramento
in
mensal
our
dessa evolução.
monthly monitoring. We will
Além disso,
monitor this
isso também
evolution.
foi devidamente
Besides, it has
discutido
been
e
well
debatido com
discussed
toda a
and
nossa
debated
liderança.
with all our
Esse
leaders.
balanço em si,
The
acho que é sempre
balance
importante destacar que os
itself,
nossos
it's
investimentos,
important to highlight that
eles
our
são
investments, they are
baseados na
based
nossa geração
on
de caixa,
our
ou seja,
cash
nós vamos
generation.
sempre manter a nossa disciplina
So we will
financeira
always
e
keep
buscando
our
um
financial
equilíbrio
discipline, but
adequado,
also
de tal
looking
modo
for
que
a
a gente
balance
não se
in a way
comprometa
that we
em
are
demasia
not
com relação à
too
nossa alavancagem
committed
financeira,
with our
que é o nosso
financial
compromisso assumido
boosting, which is
de
our
ficar sempre no
commitment
intervalo
that is
de
always to be
a
in a
dívida líquida sobre EBITDA.
liquid
Na realidade,
1 to 2
mais uma vez, obrigado
liquid
pela sua
net
pergunta
with EBITDA. This is our
e
main
agradeço aí
goal.
pela participação
Thank
no
you
evento e
for
devolvo
your
a palavra
participation.
à Patrícia.
Obrigada, Paulo. Daniel Eli, qual foi o racional para
What
Randon
was the
adotar a meta de
rationale for
duplicar a
Randon to
quantidade de
adopt
mulheres
the goal
líderes
to
na empresa
duplicate the
e
amount of
atingida a
women
meta
in
ou até
leaderships in
superada?
the company?
Quais os resultados
Once the goal has been met or even overcame, what are the results you wait to see regarding this action, because of this action?
Obrigado pela pergunta. O nosso racional foi
Our rationale was first to challenge ourselves to double what we have done until now during 70 years. But we're a company inside the heavy industry. We want to get to this 22% minimally. But our goals internally, we want to overcome these numbers, yes.
a questão do desenvolvimento,
The issue about developing, preparing other groups, they are also being studied with Randon. We're not just working with the gender question. We're also working with other affinity groups, such as the LGBT, about races, disabled. So we have a structured situation in Randon, as Paulo said. So all these goals, once they are open, once they are public, or even our internal goals, they have to be linked to our strategic planning. So that's why we were very convinced that from a starting point, we have homework, we know. We can make it faster and make it happen in a very robust way throughout the next years.
Obrigada, Daniel. O Marcelo, da JP Morgan, pergunta qual o montante esperado de
What
investimentos para
is
atingir
the
as
number
metas
of investments
ESG
you expect in
anunciadas
order
hoje?
to
Você
have
pode nos
the
ajudar a responder
SG
essa pergunta?
targets announced today? What is the amount of
sim,
money
Marcelo,
expected in terms of
obrigado pela
investments to
pergunta.
to meet the goals on ESG announced today?
Anterior, né, nós temos uma visão
Paulo said in the question before, we have a strategic view well defined for the next many years, and this view is very detailed. It involves all of our projects associated to ESG, which is the source of your question, but also all the investments necessary in productivity, in expansion of capacity, strategic initiatives. I could say the investments here, they are very significant. But to clear something, everything we do in Randon companies, we try to have synergy, and we try to go through a lot of things simultaneously. So, for example, for us to reduce the consumption, the CO2 consumption in our companies, we have the intention. Don't know if you remember, but the first we need to reduce the gases used in our manufacturing processes. So we're trying to come up with solutions to minimize the reduction, the emission of these gases. We have sources of gases which are related to welding. We are creating products which are going to reduce the welding necessity we need in our operations. So this investment is very relevant, very significant, but it's also, we're going to launch more technologies in products that will help us grow, and at the same time making investments to reduce the greenhouse gas effects. All our projects, they always have this idea of making multiple targets. I can't tell you exactly because we don't disclose exactly the numbers of investments, but they are very relevant for the next 5 years. And with that, we finish this space of question and answer. Thank you very much for sending your questions. We would like to also thank the Executive Committee of Randon Group for solving the questions. They really show us that Randon Group believe that the future is not a border. The future is an opportunity of building the new. Even better new for being responsible and efficient. And to leave his final message, we would like to invite the presidents of the Administration Council of Randon, David Randon.
Boa tarde, Davi, seja bem-vindo.
Good afternoon.
A palavra é sua.
Muito bem, pessoal. Primeiro, uma boa tarde a todos.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank you all for your presence in such an important moment here. It's important to highlight that this event is a very important event. It's a milestone of our commitment as a company before everything that has been mentioned. As president of Randon Groups and Fras-le and the administration board, I would like to highlight here that this commitment we are making here, it's a commitment that will take us to a better future. I would like to highlight throughout the presentations you could see that there is a big intensity of work being done in the ESG management, and that shows we're very focused, and we want, particularly speaking, that this can make more and more to make us stronger and make the future with big promises. I would like here in the name of the board to say that we are all involved, we're all engaged, not just the council, the board, but the managers, the directors, all the teams. So for the future of Randon companies, that we can make all these movements, all this work, and making these ways of work, that we can make this future can follow for more 70 years of life. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you so much.
Muito obrigada, Davi.
Thank you, Davi.
E é chegado o fim do nosso
And
evento.
we're coming to the end of our event. We would like to thank you all
Convidamos
for
para
the
que
audience,
respondam à
and we would
pesquisa
like
de
you to invite
satisfação
to answer
que encontra na
our
página do
satisfaction
evento.
survey, which can be found in the event's website or accessing through the QR code that you can access now.
Até a próxima.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you all.